live your best life.
Okay, so today I just wanted to go through a couple of different comments that I've made in different groups, just so I can give it out to the world instead of only being able to see those comments that I've made to certain people asking questions in certain groups only. I feel like I could end up making longer, expanded lessons on these certain things, but I figure I might as well just put the information out there now because I feel like it'll help people regardless, just based on what I've said to a couple of different people. So the first one I want to talk about is someone who posted something saying, "Today I'm having one of those days where I just doubt everything. I feel alone and I can't understand why. I can't figure out how to make things manifest. Things I've seen so clearly in the quantum field. Many good things have happened, but the thing that I really want, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good enough. I'm not going to give up, but it's hard for me to understand how to bring things out in my physical world. It's been 10 months since I was ghosted by someone I really cared about. I'm glad it happened because it made me change, but an apology would be really nice. I've seen it so clearly in my meditation how I get an apology, and this man is sorry." And they said, "To all out there, thank you." So I responded, "I'm really sorry to hear all of this. I know how you feel. I've been there too many times to count, and I find this I have to go back a lot of times when I comment things. I just go straight into the information, and I forget to add a little empathy in there first to kind of loosen things up a little bit, kind of lighten it up, and let them know that I do understand and I do care, and not just okay. Here's how you fix your your problems. And, I don't care what it is. I'm just gonna give it to you straight. Like, yeah, I do feel that way, but I also not the not caring part. That I do want to give it to you straight, but I don't. I want you to know that I care, and the reason I'm even commenting on this is because I've been through it, and I know what it took me to get through it, and to understand the dynamics of what's happening and the programs that are running in my own mind, and how to shift my perspective and see it in a different light, which could really help you then transform the situation, just by perception alone, and understanding, being aware of what's going on inside, where things are being triggered, these kinds of things. So I said, when I feel like that, I use paradoxes to help me with my paradigm shifts. And I do want to make a video on that. I'll make a whole video on the difference between paradoxes and paradigm shifts and how they really go together and how you can use your paradoxes to help with your paradigm shifts. But I'm going to basically summarize it here anyways. So you see, we can't have doubt in anything because we're trusting in that as well. So if you can trust in not trusting something, you can trust in trusting it as well. Paradox. We're also never alone. We're always connected to source, or God, universe. We're all energy, and we all can tap into that collective energy, to universal knowledge, those kinds of things, by quieting the monkey mind, the ego mind, and letting intuition and such flow through us, come to us. It's often called channeling, but meditation, it's a form of meditation, but you're searching for certain information by channeling usually, or connecting to a certain entity or being, or just frequency. But anyways, we're also never alone. We're always connected to the source, which means we're connected to everything and everyone. We can feel disconnected, but that's the illusion of separation via a belief system. We couldn't exist if we weren't connected to everything else that exists. The all loves us unconditionally, so much so that we're allowed to believe or briefly feel disconnected and alone and unsupported as an experience that we can learn from, grow from, or simply go through. Also, you don't have to learn how to manifest. You manifest every single second of your life. Each moment and event is manifested and attracted to you based on your vibration and your belief systems. The thing that we want to learn is how to deliberately create what we want rather than simply allowing our subconscious to be on autopilot and manifest everything that way. Instead, we can deliberately create or manifest what we want by following the formula that I'll include as a picture for this comment. And I included the Bashar formula. many times the things we want aren't coming because we haven't been able to detach from them. You see, the law of attraction mirrors what you give out. So when we give out a feeling of desperate want, the law gives us back desperate want. Feeling desperate wants, just desperate want gives us a feeling of lack and therefore is a lower vibe, which will attract that same lower vibe in that aspect back to us. As soon as we can let go, detach, and be okay with or without that thing, we can create space to bring it in. So I found that it's useful to think of the things I want in a wouldn't it be nice way of thinking rather than I must have this or I won't be happy sort of thing. So it's a big thing is so the more we think of that thing that always makes us feel lack, the more we're lowering our vibe in the first place and therefore messing up the whole manifestation of getting what we want because we're just gonna, you know, send out want and get back want instead of feeling like we have it already. The feeling is the biggest thing. You can imagine all you want, but until you attach a feeling to it and actually have that vibration match it, then we're not going to get any closer to getting the things that we want. So we must feel like it's already been manifested and we've already had it in our lives, whether it be a relationship or health or money, all these things we either have to be able to feel like we already have it, which is difficult, especially on those big three things. Like a lot of us really just feel desperate want for these kinds of things. And so if we can't get around or past the whole desperate feeling of like, I just really want this. I need health, I need wealth, I need a relationship, I need something, then it's better just to focus on the things that you don't feel desperate want or need for, because that's going to raise your vibration by thinking of something that you already are grateful for, that you're already like really excited about, that you do believe you can get, that you don't feel lack just by thinking of it. If you focus on those things, the things that bring you a higher vibe, that make you feel gratitude, that make you feel good, then you'll be much better off attracting those other things that you're lacking by not paying them mind for a while and only paying attention to the things that you do feel grateful for, the things that do raise your vibe. So it's all about your state of being, not circumstances. Circumstances don't matter; they don't create matter, but your state of being does. Your state of being, affects the law of attraction and materializes your manifestations. So it matters. Circumstances don't. Um, Pretty much everything I'm saying here are Bashar teachings. I'd like to bring them all together because his teachings are kind of spread out into many, 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 many different videos and questions and answers and things. And so I feel it very useful to piece them together and give them to you in, all together and put into a giant, here's how it all combines together. Um, so you are absolutely good enough. All that exists for a reason. The all can't be all that it is without you. If the all didn't need you, you wouldn't exist. You exist. Therefore, you are worthy. Can we improve? Can we do better? Sure, but we're perfect as we are, and everything we're going through is in perfect divine timing for our own personal journey to add to not only our own experience, but the collective as well. The collective wants to experience everything and is affected by each experience of everything that exists because everything is source, experiencing itself within the illusion of separation for the benefit of the all. Source and the all are the same, by the way, in case me switching up the terms becomes confusing. If you were ghosted, they proved to you that they weren't worth your time and didn't belong in your life anymore. Your experience of being ghosted has led you to believe you aren't worthy. And that experience will result in you learning that you truly are worthy, regardless of anything that happens in your life. Because again, you exist. Therefore, you are worthy. There's no apology needed. In fact, no apology better supports the point that I'm making here about them not needing to be in your life. They saved you from wasting time with someone who wasn't meant to be in your life. And that doesn't make them better than you or vice versa. And as you said, it helped you change. Ask yourself why you want. an apology so much that you're willing to meditate, visualize, and put energy into deliberately creating it. What would it truly do for you? What does their opinion or apology truly matter to you? The only opinion of you that should truly matter is your own. And based on the way you feel about yourself, you will attract different vibrations of people. If your subconscious field of energy is putting out unworthiness, you will attract people who will fulfill that feeling for you and therefore support your inner belief in your outer reality. You need to be treated a certain way, disrespected or treated horribly, like you don't matter. So those you end up attracting need someone like you to help them learn not to judge or make people feel unworthy. We all attract what is needed, and we all serve a purpose for those we attract. It's quite beautiful the way it all works out. We end up attracting the right kind of people, even though it might be lead to a negative or bad situation, which is all perspective. It's really all for us. It's really not bad if you are able to see the grand scheme of we need those lessons. We need the people in our lives to give us these lessons, even though we may not want to go through them. It's our destiny, our soul plan, our higher self is doing this for us so that we can learn and grow and do better, be better. But again, we're perfect as is, and everything happens with perfect timing. So it all works out. So let's go to life is meaningless, and that's the beauty of it. We add meaning to everything. We can choose positive, neutral, or negative meaning to everything. Yes, everything. And that's how we can shift our vibration and our belief systems as well. So you could take a negative experience like being ghosted or treated badly and neutralize it first. Just see it as an experience with no emotion attached to it, and I actually learned one technique from Paul McKenna. He's a wonderful hypnotist. He's got all kinds of hypnotizing experiences or exercises that you can listen to, and I find them very helpful myself. Um, so his technique that I'm speaking of is that you visualize that experience that you've attached negative meaning to, and now fast forward the entire situation so fast that all the voices get all high pitched, like chipmunk kind of stuff. And now you can also reverse it and do the same thing. You just all high pitch, just fast forward. Everything's moving so fast. Everything's being said at 100 times the speed, 10 times the speed at least. Just high pitch. Um, and just keep going back and forth, reverse, fast forward, and you can even add a funny tune over it in your mind, like the Benny Hill theme song. If you don't know it, you can just YouTube it, and you'll recognize it as a goofy melody that makes everybody laugh. In fact, I can play it real quick. You see how goofy that song. You remember that song. Once you see that you can make any crappy experience quite goofy when you just detach from it and just make it an experience. Just like, oh, fast forward, reverse, like it's just all high pitched. Who gives crap? Whatever. It's something that happened, and now I can actually kind of laugh at it because it's sped up and it's high pitched, and we got the Benny Hill fucking goofy soundtrack going to it. But now it's just an experience with no meaning. Now that it's neutralized, you can choose to find the positive meaning from it or the negative meaning. I'm not forcing either side. So that neutralizing it helps you then have the choice. Because if you fight the negative too much, like I don't want to think about why it's a negative thing, or I don't want to think about negative things, period. Then you're kind of stuffing in the closet, but it's gonna bang down that door and come out. You know what I mean? So if you're that's what inner child work is all about. You don't want to abuse the inner child by pushing it away. Not trying to. I don't want to deal with my traumas. I don't want to deal with my negative beliefs. So I'm just gonna not even think about it, not pay attention to it. Well, it's gonna start sabotaging you if you do that. You also don't want to tell it to shut up and just tighten up, like get over it, rub some dirt on it. These are abusive parenting techniques for yourself for your inner child. So really, you gotta give it attention. You gotta give it love, support, appreciation. Tell that it's okay. these kinds of things. So, same with negative meanings to things. If you try to, shove it away, it's, you're really not doing it justice. It's just going to keep coming back. So instead, you have to kind of accept negative experiences, negative beliefs, negative thoughts, negative traumas, these kinds of things. Accept them, understand that they're part of you, and it's okay. You don't have to shun that shadow side. That is the shadow. The shadow is what you shun away. It's deemed as unworthy, deemed as not good. And once you bring it back into the light and give it some acceptance, give it some love, some appreciation, understand that it is part of you, and that it's okay to be a part of you, because it's a part of all of us. That's how you integrate your shadow, and that's how you transform and help yourself stop self-sabotaging yourself. The negative doesn't have to be something we avoid or deem as not good. Sometimes we allow negative to stick around, deeming it as something bad and therefore something we want to get rid of, but makes it stick around as well. Accept the negative within, embrace it and its purpose, give it space, love it, and then you can let it go. It'll still exist within you, but it doesn't have to be the autopilot or the triggered response if it's been given acceptance and love and understanding. I told her to wrap it up. I said, I know that's a lot to take in. I know we can all help you with what you're dealing with, though. It sure helped me. And remember, too, that everything happens for us, not to us. As I remind myself of this mantra, when I feel my vibration lower, it's nearly impossible for me to stay in that state because I know the truth. And so I start looking for positive reasons why this thing is happening for me, not to me. If I can figure it out quickly, the universe will show me soon enough why it happened for me. Another mantra, sometimes it doesn't always happen super quickly though, and that's fine. Like I don't need to necessarily know exactly why everything happens for me. I can just theorize it. I don't have to know the exact details. So, well, I missed that bus or I was late to work, because I missed an accident. Like if I would have gotten on that bus or made it to work on time or something, like something not as great could have happened for me. And I'll just chop it up to that. I'll never know, most likely, and that's fine. That's just what I'll hold on to as my positive, silver lining. Looking at it as okay, well, that's something like that. Well, reason like that is the reason that this happened, instead of just it being a crappy thing. Like, ah, man, can't believe I'm late. I can't believe I missed this. Another mantra that goes well with that one is so what? It goes back to the neutralizing technique, and it adds to the fact that it all happens for us and not to us. So you're you're an indestructible, eternal, beautiful soul. No need to let society or individuals or yourself allow you to feel like you're anything but that which you are. Shine bright, beautiful soul. Don't let that light dim. Never forget your true power. You are the creator of your own reality. You are not a victim, you are a victor. Move from victimhood to victorhood by becoming the creator, by shifting your perspectives, by understanding that it all happens for you and you're not a victim. It's not happening to you. And that's how I wrapped it up. There's a lot of different teachings in there, and I think I touched on them and connected them well enough for this to be a great video to hopefully help you with your own problems. Comment below if you've got a couple of questions about certain things that I mentioned or any kind of specific situations in your own life and how you can apply some of these things to your own. I would love to, do the same sort of thing for you and comment and tell you, um, just how I feel, how I think that these sort of teachings can really help you change your perspective and handle the things in your life with grace and understand them better and just shift the perspective to help you out there. So that's the first one I'm doing. I'll do a couple more tonight and post them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these. I know that the people in the groups end up really enjoying the things that I'm saying, but I wanted to get out to more people. That's all. And I don't like reading things as much for a video. I'd rather present it to the camera. And I hope this ends up being useful anyways. So thank you for tuning in. And again, comment below if you'd like any help on your own personal things. Live your best life. And I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you with all of my heart for watching. Subscribe to explore more spiritual techniques, inspiring interviews, and powerful meditations. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time.